we're back in Design Space. Here's the card. Let's open it up and I'll show you what went wrong. Okay, I'm going to take it apart and get rid of these for now. Okay, the first problem I had was the butterfly. The butterfly, I'm going to make this very big so you can see it. You can see there's a lot of little intricate cuts. All of these little holes and all of these little holes and tiny strings in between them. That was just plain too small for the machine to cut out. There wasn't room for the blade to manipulate. So all I ended up with was a red blob of cardstock on the mat. Okay, can't use that. So what do we do for that? We're going to eliminate it and we're going to find a new one. So I'm going to do butterfly. And I'm going to pick out one that is solid. Like something like this or this, where they're solid. And I'm not sure exactly which one I used, but let's just say it was this one. Okay, so now we'll size it so it fits up in the corner. The other one was about 1/2 inch. So we're going to use that about like so. Now I will put it on at an angle when I put it on the card. So that takes care of that problem. Now the next problem were these flowers. The flowers are solid flowers that they cut out around here. And then the machine goes in and makes a second cut to cut out the middle and leave just this outside edge. And if you remember, the card that I got had just the outside edge type flowers, okay? Again, they are so small, and I'll make one bigger so you can see it. They are so small that the machine had a very difficult time maneuvering and keeping this piece from ripping. Because when it's fine right now, but if I bring it down to what this one looks like, you see how tiny those little outside lines are? Now I did get, I was able to get, oops, let me get it down here. I was able to get them to cut it right. However, they wanted to tear very easily. So what I decided to do is to use the inside of the flower instead of the outside of the flower. So I have the flowers, but I didn't keep the outside edge. So those will go over here, okay? But they'll be solid. The bird I cut out, and it is actually 2 pieces. It's actually more than 2 pieces. If you look over here, you'll see this, the body, the wings, and then here, the beak and the feet. And the beak and the feet, again, are so small, it can't cut it out. It just has nowhere to maneuver this blade. So we're going to get rid of the beak and the feet because the bird can sit on the fence and you won't know whether it's got feet or not, okay? So that's what we're going to cut out. I decided to use my stamps, so we're going to get rid of the hello. And on here, I wanted to see if I could find a tag. So I'm going to go over to images and I'm going to press do tag. Oh gosh, not TSH-A-G. Oh my goodness sakes. Put your hands on the right keys. Thank you very much. And you will find lots and lots of tags. Now let's just take one that doesn't have a lot of writing on it. Okay, here's one right here. Perfect. So add it to the canvas. Okay. Now, when I was doing this, I used this rotate button up here and turned it sideways so that I could see how it would fit on the card. I'm not going to do that now to show you because you don't need to, but I don't want the hole. So I'm going down to contour and I'm going to press contour and it allows me to get rid of anything. So I'm going to get rid of the hole and now it's a solid tag. So we'll get rid of this. The leaves cut out fine. Except over here, there's 3 separate pieces you could have along with the leaf. So I just got rid of those and it makes it a solid leaf. Okay. So now we have those pieces. Now we have the fence. Well, the first time I cut out the fence, I had cut a whole bunch of confetti. You see every little line here? The ball was separate. This piece was separate. All of these pieces cut separately. This piece was separate. All of these pieces cut separately. It was just, it made no sense whatsoever. And so I came back to the page and I'm looking and I had already attached it. Okay, I put attach, but it still had all these little dotted lines. You see them? And it really means that it's going to cut everywhere those lines are. So I look down here and there is another button that says combine. Now, I don't think as many years as I've been using the Cricut, I have ever used this combine button, and I really didn't know what it does. But I said, it's worth a try. So I click on it and I want it to unite. I want it to be all together. It did it and look, bang. It's a one solid piece fence. Isn't that amazing? I love it. So now I'm going to duplicate it because I wanted to cut out 2 of them. So now we'll get rid of this and this. And this is what I'm going to cut. And I will bring you back to the desk and show you how it came out. But before I do, I just want to share what I think the issue is here. If there was dies cut on the original card, if they were die cuts, I believe they are what I would call a push die. And let me show you what I mean by a push die. I'll be right back. Okay. I have images. I'm using a Stampin' Up! Die sets just because I know they have a lot of them. Now, these are die sets that you put paper over them, put a couple of pieces of plastic, and you roll them through a die cutting machine like a Cuttlebug. Okay? So what it's doing is actually just pushing that blade straight through the paper. Does that bird look familiar? Or over here we have flowers, petals. So that, I believe, is what made the dies, the pieces in that on that card, if in fact Helen made them. Okay, and this is showing you basically what I'm talking about by this die cutting machine. Now, this is not sponsored by Stamping Up at all. It's just to show you, I knew that they had a lot of dies, so I figured it was a good way to give you the opportunity to see. Okay, let's meet at the desk and put this card together. Right back. Okay, as you can see with the mat, I have all different colors on it. I've placed the colors where I want to cut out the different items. The computer thinks it's all the same color, so it let me put it all on the same mat. It's cutting out the fence right now. On the top I have the fence and the 2 tags. And then underneath the fence, on the left I have the flowers, on the right I have the butterfly. On the bottom I have the leaves, and on the right bottom I have the bluebird. So let's let it do its thing, because it'll take a little bit of time, and I'll meet you back at the desk. Okay, here we are. This is the card base. You see, it's just cut down on the front to allow for the fence. I have this piece of paper that will go on the inside. So let's put that on first. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue, because these pieces are small, not this one, but a lot of them are, and it has a precision tip on it. Now I've changed this card up just a little bit because we've recently had the need for a sympathy card. So I am just going to put my label on the inside. That says right side up with sympathy. And we'll sign it. And then on the front, let's put our fence on. So it's only going to be this one and this one that have glue on it. And I am going to make a tiny dot with a pencil. So I know how far down to put the glue. Line this up at the bottom and bring them up. And this is why I cut 2, because it doesn't have very much of a place to glue to. So I thought if I put one on the inside, it would reinforce it. So that's what I'm going to try to do, if I can actually line it up. Now, this time I will put glue all the way down these strips. There we go. And that's a little bit heavier now for the front of the card. Okay, the next thing we'll put on, let's see if we can get the bird situated. I'm going to put, I need to get out some tweezers, I think.
Well, silence. I guess silence is golden sometimes, but not necessarily when you're making a video. I have my two bigger flowers for down the bottom. Oh, wow, this is a butterfly. I don't really have a place for my ladybug. But now we need to do a little bit of decorating here. Okay, now the next thing, I'm not really thrilled with his eye, so I'm going to try to put a little bit of a glue here and put down a little gemstone. Okay. And let's see what else we can do here. As soon as I can get the pin back in this bottle of glue. Oh, I've got the wrong glasses on. No wonder I couldn't do that. Okay. Now I have some blue. Let's see if we can give the bird a little blue on the wing. And that would just kind of distinguish the wing from the rest of the bird. And then we have some green stickles. See how they'll go on the leaves. And this is like a glitter, but it's a glitter that's mixed with glue. So once it dries, it's not going to fall off on everything like glitter can sometimes do. And we'll just go around the edge of the butterfly. So, I think I'm going to call that done. I think it came out really pretty. It's not the same card at all as the one I got. The techniques are not the same, but you can cut them out. You just have to learn how to use all these different functions. Isn't that pretty? Can you see the shine? And inside, I'm not going to lay it down because that stickles is still wet. Okay, so there you go, part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back Sunday with a cooking video, and then shortly thereafter I'll be back with making a flower on the UTC board. UITC. I think it is. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Everybody have a great afternoon or evening, and I will see you on Sunday. Love ya. Play nice now. Bye-bye.